By 10, I knew not to trust my dad. He took my bike savings, then my babysitting money, and later every dollar I saved, saying he was keeping it safe. I always knew my dad was a liar, a manipulator, but nothing. Nothing prepared me for the day he stole every last cent I had to my name. It wasn't just money. It was my future, and that betrayal ignited a fire in me I never knew I had. Growing up, I learned pretty fast that my dad was not someone I could trust. I mean, it started so young. When I was just 10, I'd spent all summer mowing lawns, dreaming of a secondhand bike. I kept the cash carefully counted in a jar in my room. Then, one day, it was gone. Vanished. When I confronted him, he just laughed that dismissive, arrogant laugh and said, "Money in a kid's hands is like candy to ants. You'd just waste it." He even claimed he'd invested it for me. I never saw a single penny again. Not 1 cent. Then, when I was 12, my school planned a camping trip, $40. I asked if I could finally use some of the allowance I'd been saving. He rolled his eyes, genuinely rolled them, and scoffed, "What do you need camping for? Sleep in the backyard if you want adventure." Later, I overheard him telling relatives that I wasn't the type to have friends anyway, as if that somehow justified stealing my fun. The humiliation stung. By 14, I was babysitting for neighbors, squirreling away about $200 for art supplies, something I deeply loved. I hid the envelope in my dresser, thinking it was safe. But he found it. He always found it. He took it, coolly telling me it was for family bills. That very same week, he came home with a brand new fishing rod and a fancy cooler. When I dared to ask about my money, he snapped, his voice sharp and cold, "Don't be selfish. I'm your father. Everything I have is yours, and everything you have is mine." It was a declaration of ownership, not love. By 17, I was wise enough to keep my earnings hidden at my best friend Grace's house. But even then, he found ways to humiliate me. If I bought something new, like a pair of sneakers, he'd loudly demand in front of family, "So, where's my cut?" As if my money was automatically his property. It was exhausting. Fast forward to last year. I was 24 now, finally working full-time, finally building something for myself. I had managed to save a decent amount, just over $8,000 for a down payment on a car. This money was locked away in a high-yield savings account, completely separate from my main checking. One weekend, I went home to visit my parents. My dad was in a weirdly cheerful mood. He offered me a beer, talked about how proud he was of me for being responsible. That should have been my first blinding red flag. The following week, I logged into my account, and the money was gone. Completely. My heart hammered against my ribs. I panicked, called the bank. They told me the funds had been transferred to another account. My father's. I called him immediately, demanding to, full story video added in below.